Hi guys, James at Bespoke here and welcome back to another video. Have you ever wondered what would happen if a Glock and an M4 got together, had kids, settled down in the suburbs? What would the offspring be like? Well, today I'm going to answer that question in the form of the WE M4A1 PCC. Let's get straight into it. So yes, I have a weird one here for you today. It does look weird, doesn't it? But this is the WE M4A1 PCC. It's a gas blowback rifle from WE based on their M4 platform, but this one takes a modified Glock magazine. Get more into that in just a moment. Also in the box, you get a different recoil spring. You get one of the little style speed loaders. You actually get an armorer's wrench, which I thought was very cool, and the Allen key to adjust the hop rubber. So yeah, it looks like a very generic M4A1. When the difference is, you'll be looking at the magazine, you'll be like, how on earth am I going to fit a magazine in that thing? Well, this is where it's different. They're following on the pistol caliber carbine trend that's running a storm, predominantly in the US, where they can own, the real guns, and it became very popular. I'm not sure whether it's a case of that the pistol caliber ammunition is much cheaper compared to rifle ammunition. I'm sure the Americans out there can let me know. But there's no denying that it's had a massive trend. It's flooded onto the airsoft scene and people have ran with it, me included. I love pistol caliber carbines. There's no one better to talk to or do this review than me in this building right now. I've got QRF Mod 1s, I've got Mod 3s, I've got PP19 Vityaz, had a Scorpion Evo, sold it. I've got the Ares M45. Probably many others that I'm forgetting of, MP7s, TK45s. I love anything with an SMG style mag at the moment, and it just seems to be the trend, and I've just ran with it, and it keeps it nice and easy for all my rigs and stuff because they take the same type of magazine. So this would be right up my street. Now, it's a full metal gas blowback rifle. Of course, the pistol grip, the stock, and the handguard here, whatever you want to call it, heat shield, I'm not really too sure in the real firearm world. But the handguard is made out of polymer. Everything else is metal, of course. Even the magazine, the bumper plate on the bottom of the magazine is plastic. So, just like other rifles that they do, they seem to have this little section here where you can take the extended barrel off. So if you did want to run it in like a CQB format, you'd obviously have to get a different barrel, or you'd have to trim this down. But if you didn't want to run the full length outer barrel and inner barrel, you can do that. Now, normally you do that because a lot of gas guns from WE over the years have come and they're firing hot. So you'd be like, well, shorten the barrel, I could cut the FPS down a little bit, need to make it fieldable. Now, with the PCC, you don't have this problem as far as I've witnessed. Obviously, these came into us yesterday. It's the day of recording. I think it's the 5th of Feb today after the check. So I had to get my hands on one, and of course it jumped the queue in terms of the review stuff because I wanted to see how well this thing did. Is it going to be as efficient as an M4 model with a slimmer, longer style magazine? The first thing that I'm going to answer is probably a thing that a lot of you are asking. Oh, I've got a load of WE Glock 50 round magazines hanging about and 25 rounders. Will it work? Unfortunately not, guys. So they've had to redesign this to make it work. They've fitted like an M4 style gas router on the top here. In a perfect world, and I know ProWin do a conversion kit for the Turkey Muri M4 series, a lot of pistol caliber carbines in the US, the ones that are dedicated pistol caliber carbines, not the conversions, they'll run a different receiver. And you'll see it on guns like out on the market where they've angled the receiver and it takes a Glock style mag or an SMG style mag. And then in like a real PCC world, you can use real Glock mags because they're angled right and the bolts can pick them up. And I thought, well, perhaps WE have used a straight mag because it's going to be a lot easier to convert their current stock and they can release a new model with not many more parts. Well, they've had to redesign the lower, but then they've redesigned the lower in such a way that the magazine goes in straight. So instead of using a WE Glock style magazine that comes in at a slight angle and converting the parts to run on that, instead they've completely redesigned the system and made the mag proprietary. But let's not knock it down just yet, because we need to see how this thing works. There's plenty of blank space there, so you can put whatever trades that you want there. Take the carry handle off. I think they do also offer this in like a rail wrist raz version, whatever they want to call it. So you can get some rail space on there if you want to. Of course, you can take this off and convert it to whatever you want to make it look like, which I probably would do if I was running one of these. I'd probably want it nice and short, but there may be a problem with that coming up. Stock wise, you can just switch that over. You know, you can really make it your own. It's a nice adaptable rifle. You haven't got to worry about battery space, motors, anything like that. So it's a gas blowback. It uses a 50 round Glock magazine that's not the same as the usual Glock magazines. Obviously it locks open and empty there. It's a lot more flatter. They've had to redesign it, so you are having to buy the PCC magazines to run with this gun. So I'd say let's get a close-up of all the features, but there's not really much to show you that's out of the ordinary apart from a slightly different bolt and a slightly different lower receiver. Everything else compared to an M4A1 is pretty much the same. It's metal construction. Everything works as it should. Trigger's nice. Reset seems to be nice. And it works on full auto. So let's get straight into it. Let's find out what it's chronoing at, first of all, on a 0.2. And then we're going to switch to the new style range system that we're using here at the warehouse. And we're going to fire it with 0.3 gram BBs. I'm not going to mess with the hop at all on this one, just because it isn't the easiest to adjust, and I do want to not spend 2 days doing this. So the first test will be at 15 meters, then I move back to 30 meters, then I move back to 40 meters, and we'll see how this thing fares out the box with a 0.3 gram BB. So we'll get to that right now. So headshot target at 15 metres, easy peasy. So we're now at 30 metres away. What I just want to stress is I don't mess with the hops, so this hop is probably set for 2s or whatever, could be off completely. This is a 0.3 gram BB. We're now at 30 metres away, same target. The target is roughly the size of a person, so just below. We're about 4.5, 5 feet tall. So let's see what we can do. All we want to do is prove that we can hit it. Obviously you're going to get better results if you adjust the hop accordingly. But let's see where we are. Five out of 5 hits. There is a dip, so the hop up would need to be adjusted, but at these longer ranges you're going to be able to see a better viewpoint of where the trajectory is. But at 30 metres I think it's safe to say you ain't going to miss. Right, we are now 40 metres away, the max range we have here. Same target. I haven't altered it in any way. Just make sure that's in frame. So, person size target 40 metres. We know the gun's under hopping because we haven't set it. 0.3 gram BBs, let's see if we can hit it. Obviously at 30 metres we didn't miss, so at 30 metres you ain't gonna hit. You're gonna hit what you're aiming at, so let's try. Just a little bit to the right and down. Hit. Slight miss. Try and make it so you can see the trajectory of these. I reckon if we had a bit more hop I'd be hitting this every time. Be a little bit more predictable. That was pretty much a headshot. Body. That was a headshot. So at 40 metres, we're under hopping, so we know we're at a disadvantage because I haven't messed with the hop unit. But at 40 metres, we're confidently hitting a man-sized target with ease. I reckon with that hop dialed in, you know, we'd be able to pinpoint certain areas on that cardboard to shoot. But let's go have a look, see how we got on. So you'll see there, quite surprisingly, it came out, you know, it was fluctuating a bit up and down here and there to begin with. 280, 290, then went over 300 and something. And then it did settle. So it did settle between the 300 and 305 mark. Most shots after that, whether it be grease in the gun from factory, whether it just being a little bit tight and it needs a few shots just to loosen up and get going, it did settle about the 300 to 305 mark. So that's perfect for UK, especially, you know, we filled this with gas. It was in a nice room temperature environment, so it wasn't cold at all when we chronoed it. And then we took it outside. We tested it 15 metres all day, every day, smacking that target. Moved back to 30 metres. I don't think I missed at 30 metres. We had a little bit of an issue when I went to 40 metres. That's when you'll need some adjustment on hop unit. You're going to need more hop because I was using 0.3s. I have no doubt that using the 0.3 gram BBs and switching the hop, just a bit of an adjustment on there to counteract it, that you could easily hit that target without missing. It was struggling because it was dipping and I was having to sort of gauge where it was dipping. And when shots do dip, they're a little bit, you know, less predictable compared to when a gun is either flat or slightly over hopping. But I was so surprised. I was so surprised. And this thing, I'll be honest now, I haven't fired WE M4 off the shelf open bolt gas blowbacks for a while now. But everything that I can remember from them rifles, they were never very efficient. And I don't know whether this is because this is a new model from WE and they've learnt a lot, or whether it's down to the 50 round Glock magazine being a better design compared to an M4 magazine. Really couldn't tell you at this stage. But I feel that this performed better than an off-the-shelf M4 style gas blowback from WE. Full auto seems to work. Now this gun is empty, just to warn you. I'm the only person in the room. So we'll just test the blowback action so you can see it, because obviously you couldn't see it in the video. So we've got semi-auto. And then we've got full auto. And it just seems to go. You know, the magazines aren't vastly expensive. Sometimes WE-M4 mags can get a bit pricey when the market fluctuates. So the normal $49.99, they hold 50 rounds, so you've got more rounds, I think, compared to the WE-M4 standard style magazine. I'm pretty sure those were like 30. So you get an extra 20 rounds, and it's firing the 20 rounds. I mean, I filled this up, and it fired every single shot. So I've had some great fun with this. This is on the website right now. Well, at the time of me shooting this video review, we've got about 10 or so in stock. We've got the spare magazines as well. So depending on when this video comes out, we might have sold them, we might not. We might still have them on the website. And for those of you out there that are massive pistol caliber carbine fans, I think you're going to love this. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of how they went with the straight mags, but honestly, I think with a more modern front end on there, perhaps a different style stock and grip, I think you really could make this into something your own. It performs great out the box. I'm not as clued up as on the WE sort of upgrade hot rubbers and such compared to other rifles, because I haven't built them in a while. But you could very much make it better with aftermarket parts if you wanted to. But I don't really see the need. It seems to just absolutely slug them out there straight out of the box. I'm very, very surprised at the performance of this thing, especially with full auto, especially it's not massively warm outside at the moment. It's like 7-8 degrees Celsius. So it's not warm, so it has surprised me. Like I say, on the website, I'll put the link down below. If you can get on there, we've got them in stock. We will be having shipments of them constantly from now on forward. Hope you've enjoyed this little review here of the PCC. It definitely surprised me. I think when the time comes, and I say this a lot, it's something that I probably would add to my collection, because it's at the moment it's the cheapest way of getting a pistol caliber carbine gas blowback or an M4 that takes a Glock or pistol style magazine on the market at the moment. I know King Arms are coming out with one. You've obviously got the conversion kit for the Marui, which is going to be vastly expensive to get the Marui and then get the conversion kit. It's not as straightforward. It's like you have like a big adapter at the bottom here, but I digress. Thanks for tuning into this review. James Bespoke here. Find this on the website with a lot of all the cool, exciting and standard products across the board. BespokeAirstuff.co.uk. If you need anything, just get in touch with us. We are extremely busy as always, but we'll get to you as soon as we can. Thanks for tuning in this review, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.